So Infinity creates a great sounding driver. But what happens if you're not sitting directly in that sweet spot? What do speakers sound like then? It's another problem that Infinity has addressed to give everyone in the room the best sound. Not everyone can sit right in the middle of the room where the sound's going to be great. In fact, most of the people in the room will sit off-center or off-axis. So loudspeaker directivity becomes another big challenge to Infinity's engineering. In a typical listening room or home theater, only one or maybe two seats in the room are the ideal sweet spot. The one area in the room where all the sound from all of the speakers are equally and directly focused. Here, the listener can get the best stereo imaging, or in a surround setting, the ideal three-dimensional sound with the best clarity. Just outside of the sweet spot is a listening window. This is where almost all of the direct sound information is still delivered equally. The problem, of course, is that not everyone can sit in these areas. Most listeners are off to the side. Sometimes a listener can be almost 30 degrees from the sweet spot. This is what's called off-axis. Another big issue that affects what we hear are sounds reflected by the walls, the floor, and the ceiling in the room. All of the sound coming out of the speakers bounce off those surfaces and eventually reach your ears. And because of the different dimensions of the room, each one of those sounds reaches the listener's ears at different moments in time and from different directions. And this is why Infinity loudspeakers are designed so that all these reflections don't muddy the audio, but combine all of those reflections harmoniously to create a clear picture anywhere in the room. To solve these kinds of problems, Infinity engineers needed to find a way to measure loudspeakers in a way that allows them to predict how they would sound in a room and distribute good sound more evenly throughout the room. This means a lot of measurements. To do this, Infinity engineers developed two unique tools to test off-axis performance. Both happen in Infinity's large anechoic chambers, which are fitted with highly specialized testing equipment. One such chamber uses a series of highly sophisticated microphones, placed in an equal array apart from each other, precisely 10 degrees apart. This means an engineer can read a speaker's performance from the direct listening area, all the way to 90 degrees off-axis. The other chamber uses the spinorama. The name may sound silly, but the spinorama can measure a speaker's performance from 72 separate locations around the speaker. These tests are very revealing and are helpful in the design of loudspeakers that deliver great sound anywhere in any room. In fact, these test techniques make Infinity loudspeakers room-friendly. From all these measurements, engineers can see speakers' performance from many different angles. This gives engineers the complete picture of how a speaker will perform in typical living rooms. To ensure Infinity's speakers sound good anywhere in the room, a device called a waveguide is used. The tweeters are installed inside the waveguides. This allows the engineers to match the directivity of the tweeter to the directivity of the mid-range or woofer. Waveguides smooth out the high frequencies and expand the listening window. And this means everyone in the room hears great presence, great imaging, great sound.